If you are new to the Blender, go to this menu and turn on backface culling. Usually, we see one side of the face. We can't see the other side. Go to the side view by clicking this red icon. Delete the default cube. Drag and drop the blueprint to the viewport. Link to the blueprint is in the description. You can zero the y-axis location. Move the blueprint along the x-axis. So we can model the pen without any obstacles. Create a polygon cylinder. Go to edit mode by pressing the tab key. You can switch to vertex, edge, or face mode by clicking these icons or pressing 1, 2, or 3 keys on your keyboard. Select these faces and delete them. Go to wireframe mode by clicking this icon. Select all. Press the S key and move your mouse to scale them down. Press the G key and then press the Z key to move the object along the Z axis. Let's move these vertices and scale it down a little bit to match the blueprint. Using the loop cut tool, add a loop cut. Or you can use Ctrl R to add loop cuts. Select these vertices, press the E key to extrude and then press the Z key to move along the Z axis. Extrude again. Add some loop cuts if you want to. Select these 4 faces. Press the E key to extrude and then press the Y key to move along the Y-axis. Now click on this icon and choose Vertex. Now you can snap vertices to a particular vertex. So turn on this icon. Now snap the middle vertices to side vertices. Now you can turn off the snapping option. Extrude these faces again. Go to wireframe mode. Select these faces and extrude them. Now extrude the bottom vertices of the model. Add a loop cut. Add a subdivision surface modifier and increase the levels. Go to wireframe mode. Go to edit mode. Press the 3 key to switch to face mode. Now select these faces, right-click, and separate them. Delete one side of a model. Add a mirror modifier. Move the subdivision level modifier under the mirror modifier. Turn on clipping. Select these faces and move them along the x-axis. Now add some loop cuts. Select these 2 vertices and finally select this vertex. Then go to Mesh, Merge, at last. This will merge the vertices to the last selected vertex. Now select these edges and press Delete. Then dissolve the edges. Now add another loop cut. Add a loop cut here. Select these 2 vertices and finally select this vertex. Then go to Mesh, Merge, at last. Dissolve these edges. Merge these 2 vertices. Dissolve this edge. Let's move this edge loop a little bit, just to have a proper edge flow. Click on the knife tool. Now draw some edges on the mesh like this. Press Enter to complete the final edge. Draw some edges to connect these vertices. Merge these vertices. Dissolve these edges. Let's put another edge loop here. Apply the mirror modifier. Now let's model the top part. Select these vertices, press E to extrude them, and press Escape to put the extruded vertices in the same place. Then press S to scale down the vertices. Then extrude the same vertices again along the Z-axis. While holding the Alt key, click on one of these faces. It will select the face loop. Press Shift-D to duplicate and then press Escape to put the duplicated faces in the same location. Then separate them. Now select the upper edge loop and move it upward. As you can see, the normals are inverted. So go to Mesh, Normals, and Flip. Select the upper edge loop, extrude, and scale it down. Extrude again and merge the vertices at the center. Add a loop cut here. Let's add some loop cuts here. Again, while holding the Alt key, select one of these edges, press E to extrude, and press S to scale it down. Let's see how it looks in the local view. Do the same thing to this edge loop as well. Separate these faces. Extrude this edge loop just like before. Extrude and scale down the bottom edge loop too. Duplicate this face loop. Press Escape to put the face loop in the same location. Separate it. Move the bottom edge loop downward. Flip the normals just like before. Extrude the bottom edge loop. Add some edge loops. Add a UV sphere. Scale it down and move it downward. Let's add a loop cut here. Now we have modeled the pen. It's time to add some materials to the pen. I'm going to scale down the pen and rotate it. Select all the objects and apply Shade Smooth. Turn on Auto Smooth. Go to Material Preview mode by clicking this icon. Add a material to this part. Choose a gray color as the base color. Increase the metallic value to 1. Decrease the roughness a little bit. Let's call it Metal Rough 1. Add a new material to this piece. Let's call it Metal Shiny. Just like before, make it metallic. Decrease the roughness. For this tiny little ball, choose the metal shiny material that we have created before. Add a new material to this piece. Let's call it Metal Rough 2. For this part, the roughness value of around 0.3 would be good. Choose metal shiny material for this part. Add a rough material for this part. Add a new material to this part as well. Usually, this part is made of rubber. So increase the roughness. Go to UV Editing Workspace. Select this object and go to Local View. Now we can focus on this particular object. Select these edges. Right-click and mark Seam. Press A to select all. Press U to unwrap. Then unwrap. Select this face. Zoom into that face location in UV Editor. Select these vertices and align them vertically. Select these vertices and align them horizontally. In the perspective viewport, make sure that face is active. Press U and click on Follow Active Quads. Click OK. Go to the Shading Workspace. Add a texture node. Open this texture. Connect it to the principled BSDF node. Go to UV Editing Workspace. Go to Material Preview mode. Click on this icon and deselect the Faces option. Now move up these two circles. Put this UV island in the middle. Press S to scale and then press X to scale the UV island along the X coordinate. In the Modifiers tab, choose Keep Corners and Junction in the Subdivision Surface modifier. Now scale the UV island until you get a decent result. Now scale down these two circles and put them inside the black area. Now, break the texture connection. Add a bump node and connect it like this. Put a proper value to strength. Now add a plane and scale it down. This will be our ground plane. Select this edge and extrude it along the Z-axis. Select this edge. Press Ctrl B to bevel the edge. Use your mouse wheel to define the number of segments. Add another plane. Scale it down along the Y-axis. This will act as a light. Add a new material. Choose Emission Shader. Increase the strength a little bit. Add a new material to the ground as well. Change the settings as per your preference. Switch to Render Preview mode by clicking this icon. Choose Cycle as the render engine. Select the top plane. Under Ray Visibility, deselect the camera. Now, it won't show up in renders. Switch to Solid mode. I'm going to move up the ground plane a little bit. Add a camera. Go to the Active Camera view. Now place your camera in a proper location. I'm using GPU computation for renders. I would set the tile size value to 512. Exit from the camera view. Duplicate this light and place it in front of the pen. Set a proper value for light strength. Now you can render the model.